not every inching down there is normal, and ignoring it can make things worse. Here are 6 signs that your body is warning you against yeast infection. So in this video, we are going to be talking about 6 signs that once you notice them, it's important to meet your doctor and start treatment against yeast infection. Lots of women do not even know when and how all these things start because they are not so very observant about their body. So right now in this video, we are going to be discussing mostly the signs of yeast infection. Number 1 sign of yeast infection is intense itching. We're not talking about the random itching, right? We're talking about the intense one. Mostly this happens at night or when you remove tight clothes. Clothes like this, once you remove it, you see yourself scratching until God knows when. Intense itching. That is the sign of a yeast infection. Probably is a sign of yeast infection. Let's put it like that. You should pay attention more often and check how often you see yourself scratching your vagina. So it's important. Number 2 signs of yeast infection is white discharge. Sometimes it looks like a cottage cheese, right? Look at my screen right now. You will see how exactly it looks like. But in Nigeria, most people will be like, okay, this look like Gary like discharge. But here is the most difficult part. The most difficult part is that if you are someone that do not even understand the color of your discharge, or you don't even understand anything about discharge, you might not be able to detect that, okay, now this might be a yeast infection. But if you're someone that is very conversant with your kind of discharge, or whether you discharge or not, you will understand that this is not normal. And now sometimes it might be odorless, so you will not even know that this is not normal. So once you notice a white discharge that looks like cheese or Gary like kind of, is an alarm that you might be having a yeast infection. The 3rd sign of yeast infection is burning sensation during urinating. You notice that when you are urinating, you notice this pepper, right? It's feeling like pepper, right? Sometimes as you are urinating, it's crashing. You notice this. It's an alarm that, okay, yeah, I might be having a yeast infection. The next sign of yeast infection is redness and swelling of the vaginal area. Yes. Listen, once you begin to notice this redness in your vaginal area, that is important reason why you should always check your down there. If you begin to notice the redness, swollen, then is a sign of yeast infection. Mostly when touched is when you will notice that, this is paining a little, right? And you notice that your vagina is not as it used to be, right? Is a sign of yeast infection. Sign of yeast infection is painful sexual intercourse. Yes, there's an advantage for married people. Once you begin to notice that sex is not painful, once it's time is painful, is a sign of yeast infection. This is not, okay, maybe it's because I don't love the person or whatever. This is to tell you that you have a yeast infection, right? And you begin to notice other signs. You begin to pay attention to other signs. And most importantly, you should know that you don't need to wait until all the signs I mentioned. Once you have 2 or 3 of these signs, it's best to meet your doctor and get treated immediately. So guys, if you found this video helpful, it's best to subscribe to my channel, and most importantly, turn on your notification so that you get notified whenever I post new videos. Please guys, share this video. Someone might be inching somewhere and do not even understand what is going on. And disclaimer, this does not mean you are so dirty, because yeast is inside our body. Stay tuned for causes of yeast infection and how to actually treat them. So guys, see you next time.